Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DKWILL. This is DKWILL Talk About It. It's been a while since I did a video. I'm not quite sure how long. I'm thinking it's about 7 to 8 days, maybe. Things have been going on. I did post something in the community about the house, trying to get the house back recovered from a fire that happened last year, almost a year ago. Plus, a dearly loved one was hospitalized, and I was traveling back 2.5 hours each direction, multiple days in a row. And coupling that with a lot of things, I wasn't able to get a video out. And plus, I really just didn't have anything to talk about. And this is called DK Will Talk About It. But I feel like you deserve a video, so I decided to come up with something to create a video. And of course, I wanted to talk a little bit about Ripple and see what was going on there. Quite honestly, I've been a little bit out of the loop. But I thought, what better place to find out what's going on than to go to their website and find out what's going on and then work from there. And that's what we're going to do on this video. Let's get into it. You can see in front of you the article Post Quantum Readiness on the XRP Ledger. This is an April 20th, 2026 article. And guess what? Today is April 20th, 2026. So it was just released. I like that graphic, but can I get that out of the way? There we go. I might use that graphic for a thumbnail. But nonetheless, Ripple has introduced a multi-phase roadmap to prepare the XRPL for a post-quantum future with a target for full readiness by 2028. We are approaching the middle of 2026. So when we say these times, it seems like a while, but it's such a short period of time. Plus, they say by 2028. Now, the schedules are always late, frankly. But by 2028, to me, means by the end of 2027. And so that only means by the end of next year. But in covering just some of it, because it's a pretty extensive article, it says that the approach starts now with active testing of quantum resistant cryptography and a hybrid rollout that runs along existing systems before scaling. Ripple is working with Project 11 to accelerate development, including validator testing and early custody prototypes. The roadmap includes a quantum day contingency plan to enable a secure migration to quantum safe accounts if current standards are compromised. Well, we know that quantum computing and AI is growing in leaps and bounds. Matter of fact, they're growing in rocket ship flights from the surface of the earth. It's growing very fast, very exponentially, and it's kind of hard to keep up. And if you like the content I'm providing, please make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications, and then come back for more DK Will Talk About It. But I did read something in this article that I found very interesting, and that's why I like to talk about the gorilla grip and be still. Because for XRPL specifically, every time an account signs a transaction, its public key becomes visible on chain, and in a post-quantum world, that exposure could eventually be exploited. Accounts that hold value over long periods of time are the most important to protect. So those are the Gorilla Grip accounts that many might have. And this is not just a technical challenge, it's an operational one that touches every XRP holder and every application built on the network. And remember, it is an open network. And so it's very critical that they do this, and it's very encouraging that they also do this. At the account level, XRP supports native key rotation, which means users can move away from potentially vulnerable keys over time without needing to change their underlying accounts. Well, that's a nice feature. And this is a pretty extensive article, and this is not going to be a very long video. But the links for this article will be in the description, and it's available on Ripple's website. So you can go and read it because it's pretty extensive. There's several phases that are mentioned, and we can't go over every phase. But it is important to know that they are doing this. They are getting ready for quantum computing security, basically, and they expect to have it taken care of and accomplished, as you can see the schedule here, by a full transition targeting 2028. So that's a good thing. The guiding principles of this, they're designing cryptographic agility, supporting multiple NIST standardized algorithms rather than a single scheme, so XRPL can adapt as the post-quantum landscape matures. And that will happen. And it's nice that they're far-sighted and they're looking forward to the future to make sure that they don't become obsolete. On the big picture, the key takeaway is that the quantum threat is real, evidenced not only by ongoing improvements to quantum computing hardware and algorithmic resource estimates, but also by the fact that NIST has already finalized post-quantum cryptography standards. What sets XRPL apart is that they're not starting from zero. The architectural foundations are already in place. The cryptographic expertise is already at work, and the roadmap is already in motion. We'll continue bringing the full XRPL community along with every step. I'm going to bring you along to another step. Here, the SBI Asia commercializes the XRPL-based payment infrastructure for full-scale introduction of tokenized payments. Now, this is an April 9th article. It's not really as current as the one we just covered, but SBI, who is a major shareholder and a major user of Xrpl and the Xrpl, a subsidiary of SBI Holdings, has officially launched its blockchain payment infrastructure in Asia by completing the development of an XRP ledger-based token issuance platform and registering as a third-party prepaid payment issuer. Now, you can see where quantum proofing is becoming more and more important factor to consider, because we're talking about a global scale of things. And that means the attacks can come from a global scale of things. So the system definitely has to be hardened, and it has to be quantum hardened, because everything's moving towards AI and quantum computing, which makes at this point it's getting more and more difficult to tell real from fake with AI. So it's good that they're looking forward. This structure functions as a bridge layer connecting existing payment systems with the blockchain. That's a beautiful feature. That's bringing in more and more of all the money, leveraging the Ripple network to achieve payment settlement within approximately 3 to 5 seconds and their low transaction fees. That's all very, very nice to know, because Forbes had something to say about XRP that I think I'll finish this video with, and I think you'll like it. SBI's $200 billion Tokyo move as XRP bulls eyeing $8 breakout on this April 19, 2026 article. Yes, XRP has spent most of 2026 stuck between $1.30 and $1.50, while every other major altcoin has had its turn. It says that changed on Saturday. I don't think it necessarily changed anything, because XRP is still hovering between $1.30 and $1.50, currently sitting at $1.42 at roughly 8:50 p.m. on the 20th of April. Nevertheless, this article says news broke across Crypto X that Japan's most powerful financial group had quietly fired their starting pistol on the moment XRP traders had been promised for years: real institutional money flowing onto the XRPL. Ripple Asia, SBI Ripple Asia to be exact, the Tokyo joint venture between Ripple and Japanese banking giant SBI Holdings, has secured regulatory approval to issue prepaid payment tokens on the public XRP ledger and signed an agreement with Tobu Top Tours, a major travel arm of Tobu Railway. The company became a registered third-party prepaid payment instrument issuer under Japan's Payment Services Act on March 26, according to FinTech Observer, and finished the platform in early April. Japan's prepaid instrument handles around 30 trillion yen, roughly $200 billion in annual volume. XRP traded at $1.44 on Sunday, down about 3%. Does this finally rewrite XRP price prediction story? Well, only time will tell that. But we're going to cut to the meat and the chase here, because the XRP price prediction, the bull case. Bulls argue XRP has spent 6 months trading on sentiment, while real utility quietly accumulated underneath. XRP has spent 6 months trading on manipulation, while institutions and banks accumulated and whales accumulated underneath. Let's translate that into honest English. Japan is a global leader in XRP adoption and infrastructure development. The Happy Caddy crypto YouTube channel told viewers, citing AI-driven price models, that put XRP between $8 and $27 within 12 months. The numbers are engagement bait, but they show what holders think Japanese adoption could unlock. Yes, they are bait. And if you are familiar, you know that I've done plenty of videos about AI-driven price models and about the sentiment being created by the institutions. One of those institutions, Standard Chartered, offers the institutional read. Bank analyst Jeffrey Kendrick cut his XRP price target from 8 to 280 in February, citing slowing ETF inflows. Even that lower number nearly doubles the current price. His 2028 forecast still sits at $12.60. So they're throwing it way out there. That's the bull case. And I'm really only concerned about the bull case. The bear case only matters if you have money to buy more, in my mind. It's certainly not the time to sell. But in the bear case starts with a fact. XRP is not moved. Japan's news cycle has been bullish for months. The chart still shows a token consolidating around $1.40. Now, I also did videos about the liquidation that will be provided by Japan. I'll put the cards up in the upper right-hand corner. You probably should watch them. Speaking of that, I think I'm going to end this video here. And as to why it matters, I don't think it matters until the institutions are done playing games. But on that note, I've been doing videos now for 4 years, so I hope you like and I hope you subscribe. And if you made it this far, I genuinely appreciate the fact that you did. Because watching the videos and subscribing to the videos and hitting notifications is what makes this worthwhile. And so I'm probably going to back down a little bit, and I'm probably going to go with 1 or 2 videos a week like I promised from the outset of my channel, because eventually there has to be a return on the investment of time and energy that I put into these videos. And so I know there are many loyal listeners and followers out there who do share my videos. I hope that if you made it this far, you do the same thing. But here's a fact about YouTube. It doesn't cost viewers anything to subscribe. It doesn't cost viewers anything to hit notifications. And it doesn't cost viewers anything to watch the videos to the end. But since I don't like to throw my words at the wind, I'm going to start minimizing my words just a little bit. But in the end, I'll still be here because I'm DK Will. And this is DK Will Talk About It. And when there's something to talk about that I think benefits us, I'm going to talk about it. Thank you for making it this far. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you hit notifications, even make sure you share. And then come on back to DK Will Talk About It.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.